Hi guys, and welcome to the session on linear arrangements. If you have any feedback on this video, if you liked it, if you think there are things that can be improved, if you didn't understand something, do shoot me an email at vivek@examvictor.com and I'll get back to you. Alright, moving on. So what is a linear arrangement question? Linear arrangement questions deal with arranging objects typically in a line or a row. The word linear implies that it is in one dimension. So it's going to be one dimensional. An example question is here. So M, N, O, P, Q, R, S are 7 persons sitting in a row, right? We'll see how to solve this question later. For now, I just wanted to show you how a typical question looks. Notice some other features. There are a whole bunch of sentences, and all of these sentences are clues. Your job in this question and many questions like this would be to figure out the order of these objects. Which object comes where is really going to be the question. So if all the people are facing the cameraman, then who sits where is going to be a typical question. So if you get this order right, you're going to get all the questions that follow it. Sometimes you get unlucky and it's just one question, but sometimes you get really lucky and it's 5 or 6 questions. So if you get this order right once, you get 5 questions just like that. So it's a good investment of time that way. So basic principles, let me be upfront. Very clearly, there are no formulas, not just for linear arrangements, but even for other types of logical reasoning questions, no formulas, right? So what other types of arrangements are there? I won't worry right now, but you do have circular arrangements, you have grid matrix arrangements. All of these we'll see in separate lessons. In this one, we're going to focus on linear arrangements. I've already explained, linear arrangement is something that is in one dimension. The question will ask you to arrange something in one dimension. So it could be objects sitting in a line, it could be days of the week, it could be like on which day does what happen, etc, etc. So these are different types of questions. They all fall under linear arrangements. We'll see some examples in this video. Some tips that are very helpful to solve these questions fast. First is quite obvious, you go through the information very carefully, right? Don't miss any points that are given in the question itself. You capture what is known first from the question. What is obvious, what is already given to you in the question, you capture that first. Then after you have done capturing, then you try to imply or deduce what you don't know or what information is not given. Many times the clues will allow you to deduce a few things, and that should be enough to solve the question, or at least give you enough information to answer or pick the right choice among the 4 choices. Now, coming to this concept of ordered pairs. Ordered pairs is a really important concept for linear arrangement questions. What does an ordered pair mean? An ordered pair is basically 2 objects that you know have to occur next to each other. The pair word is actually misleading. In fact, a better name would be ordered set. An ordered set of objects is a set of objects that you know have to occur together. For example, in the question that we just saw on the previous slide, we saw that there were some people called M, N, O, P, Q and so on. Let's say through one of the clues we are able to deduce that M, N and Q, they have to sit together. They have to sit together next to each other. This for us is an ordered set. This is an ordered set. Why? What this means is that M and Q, this is fixed. So whenever M occurs, we know that the next 2 places have to be occupied by N and Q. Similarly, if I have put down N somewhere, I know that on one side that I should see M, on the other side I should see Q. This is of immense help to us because this helps us reduce the number of possible solutions and come down to the one that is the actual answer. We'll see how to use this in questions, but do keep this in mind. The ordered pair concept, very, very important. Not just in linear arrangements, we'll see it in circular also. But do keep this in mind. This ordered set concept, very important. Alright. The next thing, now these are common sense tips. Try to use clear symbols to save time. You don't have to use the symbols that I use. Whatever works for you is fine. But use some consistent symbols so that you know what you're looking at later. Right? If you have a system of ticks and crosses or whatever, anything is fine. Whatever works for you is fine. Just make sure that it's consistent. Sometimes this tip helps. Sometimes if you have to narrow down the given choices, you know that you have to pick among A, B, C and D only, which is given in the question. So there's no point working through 10 or 15 choices. If that question you feel requires it, there's no point doing it. You need to just plug in the 4 choices A, B, C, D that are given and see which one works. Does not work all the time, works only sometimes. So keep that in mind. One tip that is useful for weekly schedule questions, only for weekly schedule questions, the question itself, 99.9%, will specify the days of the week. What do I mean by this? The question will tell you that you have to fill out the order from Monday through Friday. So you can't arbitrarily go ahead and choose that I want to fill the order from, say, Sunday to Thursday. You can't do that. The question will specify, and this is just to reduce ambiguity so that your solution matches with somebody else's solution. So in weekly schedule questions, pay attention to the days of the week. This will be given in the question. Alright, now getting into the weeds a little bit. This is the question that we just saw 2 slides ago. This is the example question. Now let's see how to actually solve it. Right up front, as we're reading the question, we see that there are 7 people. They're sitting in a row, so it's a linear question. Moment you know that there are 7 people sitting in a row, you know that the question is going to ask you the order of these people, because that's what they have, right? That's really the point of the whole question. So what the question is really asking you is to fill up these blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Fill up these blanks with the names of these people in the right order. And they've given you some tips and hints how to do it. First one, O sits to the immediate left of S. This is your first ordered pair. So that means O and S have to occur together. This is an ordered pair for us. Similarly, R is to the immediate right of P. So R is to the right of P, that means P, R. This is also an ordered pair for us. So now we have 2 ordered pairs and we have 7 blanks. So we are still not able to use this, but all we can say is that wherever if I put down O or S somewhere, I know where the other character should immediately be. Similarly for P and R. Alright. Now the next one, this is interesting. N has an equal number of persons on either side of him in the row. This is a 7-member row. There's only one position that has equal members on side of it, and that is the center position, right? This is the center position, so N is right here. M is to the immediate left of N. So this is easy. You can put M here. And there are exactly 3 persons between M and S. Now M is here. This side has only 2 spaces left. So this business of 3 people between M and S cannot happen. So obviously it has to happen here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So S has to be sitting here. If S is here, we have an ordered pair which is OS. So O has to be here. If O is here, we have another ordered pair PR that has to fit in among these 3 spaces. If you put PR here, then there's no space for the other person. So PR has to come here. And now we've almost solved it. The only person left is Q. So you put in Q here and you've got your entire order. It's PRM and QOS, and now you're in a ready position to solve each of the questions given. Alright, so I've just copied the order onto this page just to make it simpler for us. Now question 1, if all the 7 persons are facing the cameraman, who sits to the immediate right of Q? Simplicity itself, the answer is O. So A is the right answer. If Q wants to sit to the immediate left of N, then with whom should he exchange his seat? To the immediate left of M is N. Sorry, to the immediate left of N is M. So the answer is M. D. How many persons are there between R and Q? So R is here, Q is here. There are 2 people in between. So the answer is A, 2. If P and Q exchange their places in the row, which of the following must be false? Right, so P is here, Q is here, and we're talking about them exchanging their places. So Q is to the left of N, right? So Q would come here and then it would be to the left of N. So this is true. We are looking for the one that must be false. So this is not our answer. M and O have 2 persons between them. So M and O are unaffected because they do not change their positions at all. And that is still true. M and O would have 2 persons between them. So this is also true. And this is not the answer. P and R sit together. So obviously this is the answer because P and R were sitting together earlier. Now that Q has come here, P has gone there. So P and R no longer sit together. So this is false and this is our answer. So you see how easy this was. Once we got this order in place, then solving these questions was just maybe about 2 seconds per question. That's what I mean when I say that sometimes the linear arrangement questions are really a good investment of time.